Hello everybody and welcome to a video looking at Tetra's Escape. This is a new release on PlayStation 4 this week. It's an indie game, which is probably why you haven't heard about it. Well, that and the fact, as you can tell, it doesn't look like much. The reason I'm doing a video about it though, and it is going to be a short video because there's not too much to talk about with relation to it, but the reason I'm doing a video about this game is because despite the fact it looks like one of the most terrible games on the PlayStation 4, which is saying a lot because there's a lot of really bad games on the PlayStation 4 these days, this one is surprisingly decent. It is less than $10. In Australia it's $7, which means it's even cheaper in most other parts of the world. So yeah, it's a very cheap little game and it's actually surprisingly cheerful, and I am actually kind of sort of recommending it. So what is Tetra's Escape? This is a very simple game, like I said before, and you will know exactly what you need to do with it within about a minute of playing. The basic idea is that you need to get the black block there to the really ugly swirling vortex of colour, which is at the end of the level, and you need to pick up 3 stars along the way. The trick is that the black block can only jump up 1 square at a time. As you can see, the playfield is split into squares. The black block can only move up staircases that are 1 square in height at a time. So you need to use the other blocks there, the red block which turns into the L shape, and the yellow block which turns into the square shape, to create the staircases that the black block needs to navigate through the level. And that's basically it. It's about creating staircases, it's about fitting shapes into level design, and it's, like I said, it's very, very simple. Nothing about the game really changes from one level to the next. Obviously the puzzles get more difficult and you end up with more blocks to manipulate, but yeah, the basic idea of this game never actually changes. Now, the replay value of the game is encouraged with the presence of a trophy. So once you've collected the 3 stars in a level, the next step is to, like I said, get the black block to the end vortex. But there will also be a trophy that pops up in the level somewhere, and your goal is to complete a level 100%. You need to get that trophy as well. That seems to be the way that the developers have encouraged replay, because the trophy doesn't always appear in an obvious spot, and if it appears somewhere where you've created a gap, for instance, you're going to have to replay the level to figure out how to also get the trophy. You'll see that at the end of this little clip here, that the trophy can sometimes appear in a spot that you've already blocked off because you've set up a block there. And that kind of leads to the one frustration I have with the game. Though it works pretty well and it's enjoyable enough, once you've set a block down, you can't reverse it. So if you put the block in the wrong spot or accidentally fall off, as I did just then, you have to restart the entire level. Now, it's not the end of the world because each level is so short. I'm talking about a couple of minutes for each level. But it is still a really odd design element, and it is probably there so it makes collecting the trophies more difficult, because otherwise you just revert a block to back to its walking form, collect the trophy, and level's finished. So this is a way, I guess, of the developers forcing you to really understand each level if you want to complete it 100%, but it is still a really irritating and quite cheap element of the game, and just shows that this is very much an indie title. It behaves like an indie title, it looks like an indie title, and though it's fairly well executed, there's no bugs and stuff, and it's not offensive on any level, it's also not a game that you're going to be remembering forever, and it's certainly not a classic of the genre. So yeah, it's enjoyable. Not many people are going to talk about it, not many people are going to write about it. It's a short little indie game, and it's going to be mostly ignored. If you discover it, then great, because you probably have a good time with it. But yeah, I'm just doing this video so you know about a game that not many people are going to talk about. Thanks very much for watching, and see you at the next video.